Online courses. If you've ever seen the top comments of any money related video on YouTube in history, the top comment is always, oh my gosh, this guy sells a course. So because of this, people who sell online courses, they're kind of looked at as these evil people who just take all of your money and don't give anything valuable in return. And I kind of thought this as well up until 3 years ago. And since then, I've spent probably $40,000 to $50,000 on just a bunch of different courses. And as someone who is about to make $50,000 a month profit this month in January 2023, and as someone who has made over $300,000 last year from my online business, this video is kind of my honest and personal opinion and personal experiences with online courses. So jumping right into it, and it's kind of why people hate on online courses, right? So there's kind of two types of people, and their thoughts on online courses. The first camp of people are people who kind of say, well, why would I ever pay money for an online course? Anything I ever want to know, I could find it online. And that's completely true. And the second camp of people are people who just believe and say to themselves that investing in their own education is the best thing they've ever done. And for me personally, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm in neither the first camp or the second camp. And the first camp of people who tell themselves that you can find anything you ever wanted to know online is completely true. But I think the main thing is online courses, they're kind of no different than university courses or college courses. And I'm speaking from someone who actually graduated from university. I graduated last year in May 2023 with a bachelor's of commerce degree studying business. So I'm speaking from my personal experience when I went through university, and I can confidently say that almost everything I've learned in university is kind of the same as these online courses, in the sense where if I really wanted to learn marketing, if I really wanted to learn accounting, I could learn all of those things from YouTube videos. The same way, if you wanted to buy a course teaching you how to run ads, you could find all of these things on YouTube as well. So it's kind of the exact same thing. And I think the second reason that people kind of hate on online courses is they kind of figure out that these gurus, these people selling and teaching these courses, they don't actually run the business model that they are then selling and teaching other people. But that's kind of the exact same thing as these university professors. I know when I was in university, I took a bunch of business courses, accounting courses. The professor who taught me accounting, he is not even an accountant. He's just teaching it. So the exact same principle applies. What he's teaching is not related to what he actually does in real life. So it's kind of the exact same thing. So in terms of my own personal experiences with online courses, over the last 3 years, I spent somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000 on a bunch of different courses. A few of them were basically complete garbage. They were basically scams. I spent thousands of dollars and never really got anything of value in return. The stuff they're talking about was pretty high level stuff, like literally stuff that you could think of by yourself, right? Telling people to DM people or set up Instagram, post some content, stuff of that nature. But there were a few courses that I bought that were truly valuable, and those valuable courses were the ones that literally provided me the most business value and kind of taught me the most in terms of how to run a successful business. So the first course I ever bought was back in 2021. It was March 2021. I spent $2,000 on an email marketing course. I then bought a bunch of SMMA courses, dropshipping courses, sales courses, a bunch of stuff. And over the last 3 years, I probably bought somewhere between 15 and 20 courses in total. So after going through a bunch of courses, I kind of realized and kind of identified why certain courses are really that good, while most other courses are basically complete garbage. And out of 10 people who enroll and buy into that course, 9 and 10 of them never make a single dollar. One of them is what I call the failure cycle. So pretty much what the failure cycle is someone goes through a course, they buy a program. But then what happens is, as they are taking action, they inevitably struggle with a bunch of different questions, or they get stuck on a very specific problem. The problem, however, is they have no one to answer them. So what happens is this leads to them feeling stuck and feeling extremely frustrated. So what happens, right? Obviously, they end up giving up after a few months of just trying different things on their own and just never really figuring out the answers. That's kind of one of the main reasons that I've realized why most online courses just kind of suck, right? Is there's a lack of accountability. When students have questions, there's no one there to answer those questions. I think the second major reason is, of all the garbage courses that I've ever taken, a lot of them are teaching very ineffective strategies. And this kind of comes from the idea that the people teaching the course, they don't actually run the exact same business model that they're teaching. So for example, when I bought an SMMA course from one of the largest gurus, he doesn't actually run his own SMMA anymore. Maybe he did 3, 4, 5 years ago, but the strategies that worked for him 5 years ago is completely different from the strategies that work from today. We live in a business environment which is extremely competitive. Every single month, every single week, there are thousands of people who are looking to start their own businesses, and everyone's kind of just using the same strategies. So the same strategies that worked years ago are not going to be the same strategies that work today. So I think that's kind of the second main reason why most people struggle with courses is the strategies that are taught in those courses are ineffective or completely outdated. I think the final reason why most people struggle in courses and why most courses are completely garbage is kind of the lack of accountability. So it's very easy for people to buy into a bunch of courses, just consume information after information after information, but doesn't actually take action. And I was personally one of those people. The reason why is because when you are buying different courses and just consuming info after info, you kind of feel good about yourself, right? You tell yourself, you make yourself feel like you're doing something important, you're learning something, but that's not the case. The only way you actually make money is by taking action, and the lack of accountability in these courses is kind of one of the main reasons why most people struggle and fail from online courses. So then this leads me to the next question, is why should people do online courses? Considering the fact that most courses online, they're actually completely garbage. 9 in 10 people will never make a single dollar from most of these online courses. So why should people still buy these courses? And I think the simple answer is to accelerate the journey. Because if you buy the right courses, out of the 15 to 20 courses I took, a few of them were really, really good. And the ones that were good accelerated my journey. Now, sure, I probably could have went from $0 to $50,000 a month on my own from watching different YouTube videos. And I probably would have done that within a few years. But because I bought the right courses, the ones that were truly valuable, I was able to do it in 1 year as opposed to 2 to 3 years. If you buy the right programs, if you buy the right courses, it really accelerates your journey. And the reason why is because you're basically paying to work with someone who is where you want to be. So obviously, if you pick the right person, if you pick the right teacher, they will be able to guide you through the process. All the problems, all the struggles, all the things that you will do wrong if you did it yourself, that person has probably been in that exact position. They probably stepped in the wrong spots, made the wrong problems, had the same type of questions. And if you are able to work with someone who is where you want to be, they'll be able to essentially tell you and say, hey man, don't do this, don't do that, focus on this, don't focus on that. And that process by itself will really accelerate your journey and allow you to succeed much, much more quickly. And a second thing that I realized pretty recently was kind of the idea of you don't know what you don't know. If you had the ability to make $10,000 a month with your current skill set and your current experience, you'd be making $10,000 a month. For myself, I just made $50,000 a month profit in my business. If I had the ability, the experience, and the skill set to make $1 million a month in my business, I would be making $1 million a month. And I think that is overall the idea, is you just don't know what you don't know. And by buying these courses, if you're buying the right courses, the keyword, buying the right courses, you will be able to learn a lot more, a lot quicker, and not only accelerate your journey, but have a much smaller learning curve, because it's kind of the idea, right? You can only learn what you know you don't know, if that makes sense, right? If you know that you don't know how to solve a certain math equation, you can search it on YouTube, you can search it on Google, and grind through a bunch of videos that teaches you how to solve a specific formula. But if you don't even know that you don't know this formula, how do you even search it up on YouTube? And I think that's one of the largest things that I recently realized myself, is the idea of you just don't know what you don't know. So how do you actually pick which courses and which programs to invest your hard-earned dollars into? And I know myself, sometimes it's a little bit hard to determine if someone's program, if someone's course is actually legitimately valuable or basically a scam. But I think there's 2 ways that you can use to really identify the good courses from the bad. The first way is client testimonials or student testimonials. Are there a lot of people who are getting the results that is being sold? If not, then that's kind of a red flag, right? But if they have 20, 30, 40 different student testimonials, interviews, stuff of that nature, of people talking about how great the program is, how great the communication is, how strong the accountability and the community is, then there's a very strong chance that that course or that program is legitimately valuable in some way. Now, the second thing you want to focus on is make sure the courses that you're buying into, they're focusing on skills as opposed to business models. And the reason why is because business models change, right? A few years ago, dropshipping was a really big thing. Today, dropshipping, you can still make money from it, but it's definitely not as trendy as it was a few years ago. So if you bought a course specifically about dropshipping, then you're trading a lot of money for something that doesn't necessarily work. But if you bought a course talking about skills, so rather than focus on dropshipping, but learning the skill of running ads, learning the skill of researching different products, that is a skill set that will never be extinct. It's a skill set that will still be valuable 3 years from now, 5 years from now, even 10, 20 years from now. And that's the exact same thing. So make sure any courses that you're buying, make sure they're focusing on helping you develop skills as opposed to specific business models. Obviously, I do have a consulting program where I work with beginners one-on-one, taking them from where they are basically at zero and helping them build their own lead generation agencies and get it to $10,000 a month in the next 90 days. It's not a course, it's a one-on-one consulting program. It's not a course in the sense where you pay thousands of dollars and all you get are video modules kind of explaining and talking about different strategies. That's not how it works. It's a one-on-one consulting program where there's the information aspect, and as you are going and implementing these things, building your actual business, and you run into problems or questions, you be able to reach out and ask me, talk with me over a Zoom call, and get your answers and problems answered. So for example, one of my clients, Brian, we actually helped him scale his lead generation business, helping him make $11,000 this month. And he only started in November last year. So basically 3 months ago. Or like Chino, another one of my students who is actually from the Philippines, where he was able to recently sign his first client for $2,000 after starting in December. Now, obviously, this does cost money to work with me one-on-one, but if you are interested in building and starting your own lead generation agency, going from $0 to $10,000 a month in the next 90 days, basically having someone there who is able to answer all of your questions and essentially handhold you every step of the process, I have included my link to the calendar in the link below in the description. So please set up a time to chat, show up on the Zoom call, and we'll see if I can actually help you. But if you're unable to do so, I also completely understand. I know when I was first starting out, I didn't have a lot of money to invest into learning different things. And that's exactly why I put together a completely free YouTube course where I break down everything that I know. And if you do take action on the information that I share with you in that free course, you will make money guaranteed. Now, obviously, it might take you a while. And as you are going through that process, you're going to have questions and you're going to have problems. And you're just going to have to kind of figure it out on your own. But you will make money if you stick to it, take action, and actually implement the things that I'm talking about. Just like Sheila, who was able to book 4 calls herself from the completely free course, or like Robert, who found the free course to be much more valuable than most paid courses online. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this video today, kind of my own personal experiences from buying and doing a bunch of different online courses. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.